Okay, it's 1 minute past and we have many things to cover today, so I'll kick it off. Hello and welcome everybody. Today is an exciting day for Smartvatten. We have taken all of the experience from decades of working at the forefront of water efficiency and built a brand new platform on which Smartvatten's current and future offerings will be based. We're very pleased to see that so many are joining us today to get into an introduction to our new tool, the Smartvatten Hub. My name is Carl Jeppsson. I'm the head of business development at Smartvatten, calling in today from my home office here in Stockholm, Sweden. And with me today is also Erik Soininen, product owner with Smartvatten, calling in from our Hämeenlinna, Finland office. Today, I'm going to start with a general introduction about Smartvatten and our offering. And then Erik will give us a live demo of the tool before we then open up for Q&A. The audience can continuously type questions into the chat window, and we will address those questions at the end of the webinar. So let's kick it off. First of all, an update for everyone on what Smartvatten really does. We help save water by providing data which enables organizations to understand what is going on with their water consumption and inside their pipe systems. With those insights, actions can be taken to pinpoint water waste and reduce the consumption. And when saving water, this also means that energy and money is being saved. And of course, with our leak detection system, we also help prevent water damages, which protect the buildings from structural damages. Secondly, we help ease the workload from those who are involved in manually reading meters, reporting the data into various systems, and then analyzing the data. All of that is done automatically, minute by minute with our system to ensure that water data is always accurate, up to date, and in the right system where you need it. Maximum value from our solutions is obtained when they are scaled. And our technology is uniquely scalable. It works on any type of meter and can be installed by basically anyone in just 5 minutes. That is why portfolio owners have decided to scale it already to thousands of properties. And our local customer success and support teams are there to help and provide their expertise on water along the journey with us. We now very glad to see that more and more companies are formulating explicit targets for water conservation as part of their overall ESG strategy. And now with the CSRD directive being implemented, it will only further increase the importance of gathering water data systematically. In addition to that, with our solutions deployed, you will immediately enable additional ESG credits, such as from BREEAM or GRESB. And now with the hub, we take it one step further when also sub-meters are integrated, enabling additional points to be earned. Why are we doing this? Well, I think it's already painfully clear that one of the primary threats from climate change is the impact it has on the water cycle. Europe's aquifers, from which we're getting our clean drinking water, are rapidly decreasing. We are extracting every year more water than what is regenerated into those aquifers. Water conservation needs to be front and center on the ESG agenda, and we want to help make a real impact by supporting more water efficient communities. Here's a quick update on where we are as a company today. This year, we're already celebrating 10-year anniversary. And as you can see, we have established local offices in 6 countries, but we also follow our customers who have properties in other countries so that our scalable solution can now actually be found in 36 countries. Here are a few of our current customers. Obviously, we have many more, but we're really happy to see that so many keep expanding with us, adding new properties from their portfolio or even adding new portfolios from their funds and so on. Also, our partner network is hugely important for us. Therefore, we offer our API interface for free so that the water data can be seamlessly integrated in the different platforms which are used every day to manage buildings and portfolios. Now, as part of our vision to be a leading provider of water efficiency technology, Smartvatten has expanded our offering to provide smart solutions across the whole water cycle. So if we start from the left of this picture, the clean water distribution network, we offer advanced software for leak detection and network management, and we target this offering to the water utilities. And then as water flows over to the consumer side, the hub now allows us to follow the water from the intake point at the main meter to every sub-meter of the entire building. And then, based on that, we can also offer value-added add-on services, such as billing or benchmarking or water-saving equipment for faucets and hand showers and so on. And then, when the used water is collected, our utility solution again helps monitor and optimize the network for effective collection of the wastewater. Now today, obviously, we're going to focus on the real estate side, where the hub is going to be our new platform that integrates all water management for a building. Our vision here is simple: to provide insights about water consumption across the portfolio in order to help save water. Now, getting there, as many of you know, can be harder. Many of you will recognize the following challenges, starting with the infrequent data collection of water data. The majority of water meters out there is still manually read or at best semi-automated, meaning there's a walk-by, drive-by solution. A car drives by on the street, collects the data on a monthly basis, quarterly or yearly. Obviously, with that type of data granularity, it's not possible to do any proper leak or consumption analysis. That data gathering is only good for billing purposes, basically. You will also recognize the fact that there is a variety of systems in use out there. There's a multitude of water meters coming of different ages, of different times when they were installed, different types, mechanical, static meters, ultrasonic. There is a mix out there. And obviously different vendors who typically offer their own platforms. And many times, this multitude of systems can be found in the same portfolio, making it very hard to get a grip of the total water consumption in that portfolio. Now, if you try to replace the water meters, you will find that that is an expensive process and typically only something you would think about doing when you're renovating the building or actually in case of new construction here. What this leads to is a lack of insights around water. What is actually the water efficiency of the different properties in my portfolio? And what is the impact of cost and CO2 from our water usage? Well, I think many would be able to answer that question when I wake you up in the nighttime if it was about energy. But when it comes to water, there is a lack of data and insights currently. Secondly, if we have this multitude of meter systems in place, some of which may be so-called smart meters, who could also offer some basic alarms, often based on preset thresholds or alarm levels that you get out of the factory, not really taking into account the consumption of the actual building. But how would you then interpret those? And how would you act on them if they come from different meters and systems and are calculated in different ways? And thirdly, if you know there's a leak somewhere in the building, as you've been notified maybe based on the main meter, how to effectively pinpoint that in a large building. That can be a long and tedious task also to identify where the leaks are. Now, with Smartvatten Hub, we have solutions that help bridge all of those challenges. So before I turn over to Erik to demonstrate the portal live for you, I'd like to share how it fits in the landscape of different meters and technologies out there. And we created the hub with 3 use cases in mind. There are still many main meters out there which need to be digitalized. This we will do in an instant with our main Smartvatten monitoring solution, which many of you will be familiar with. This gives you the most granular data available on the market, and the water meter reading is digitalized in an instant. Secondly, we have now added support for submeters. Many property owners who started to investigate leaks, they see the need to submeter parts of the premises in order to pinpoint where the leaks are, and also to distinguish high-consuming tenants or areas from those with lower consumptions, and to bill them fairly based on real water consumption. As some of you know, in the residential segment, there is also a requirement mandated by the Energy Efficiency Directive coming from the EU that you have to fit in submeter systems on the hot water taps in case of new construction or renovations now. So now Smartvatten can offer 2 types of submeter installations here. Smartvatten Verto, which is our solution optimized for residential buildings, and Smartvatten Flex, which connects different type of water meters more for commercial properties where the pipe sizes vary and where you see a little bit more complexity in the water piping system. And thirdly, with a variety of systems that are already on the market, we have now support for integrating them into the hub. So this is done either by using our gateways, which will read the meters and send the data to our cloud, or via APIs in the case that the data is already collected into some kind of software. And once the data is then collected into the hub, the data is unified, and we add a lot of added value here in the hub then. So starting with advanced leak detection, we have more than 50 algorithms that will crunch the water meter data and provide consistent leak alarms that are calculated in a consistent way and will alarm the users of any abnormalities or ongoing leakages in the building. It gives you a full overview of the water consumption in the portfolio, as well as details into the individual property, even on minute level for analysis. As mentioned, you'll see the cost and CO2 impact of water, and that is reported with a variety of reports, all providing intuitive and easy to read insights. And you can get benchmarking. You'll understand if your property is above or below average when it comes to water efficiency. And all of our services come with a water expertise from our customer success and support teams included that will help you follow you along the journey and advance your water efficiency strategy. Last, but in many cases not least, we also further integrate into additional systems. Currently, we counted to more than 65 systems that we have collaborations with and integrate our data to. And that's for users who then prefer to continue to use their energy or building management softwares that they're used to. And we're very happy to support that also. With that, I would now like to turn it over to Erik to go over the details of the Smartvatten Hub system. Erik, over to you.
Thank you, Carl. Also, very nice to see lots of people here, and most warmest welcome to the webinar also from my behalf. My name is Erik Soinen. I work as a product owner for customer-facing softwares in Smartvatten. In Smartvatten, before the hub, we had 2 different platforms. The Smartvatten Online, which was the current portal for main metering mainly, and also the Vertolive, which was more residential building software and used mainly in Nordics. They are still there. You can access them with the old credentials. If you have credentials for the Smartvatten Online, you are always able to log into the Smartvatten Hub also. But on top of these 2 platforms, we have built the Smartvatten Hub, what is going to be our flagship on the software side in the future. And the ambitious goal is, of course, to build the most advanced portal for water efficiency. Maybe a little bit about myself. Before I joined Smartvatten, I worked in several years with energy and water sector with real estates. I had multiple mass rollouts with different kind of energy monitoring projects, and always the hardest part or piece of the puzzle was the water. To get the water data from every premise in the same way. And if you cannot measure it, you cannot control it or lead it. So when we start our work with the customers on the water side, the first step is always that we measure your portfolio on a main meter level. So we create awareness that what is your overall water consumption month by month, year by year. Second step, like Carl mentioned, it might be hard to know where the actual water consumption is in the buildings. So we can bring many varieties of submetering, read current submeters you have, what you have in the building, and also deepen your knowledge with that. And of course, when you understand your consumption, where does it happen? The third step is to control and improve your water efficiency. And basically that, in my opinion, is what Smartvatten offering is all about. We will provide you tools to increase your awareness and help you improve your water efficiency and validate the impacts for the actions you have made. But let's jump into the hub side so I can a little bit demonstrate what we can do there. When you log into the hub, the first thing what you see is the consumption graph. Here you can see your portfolio consumption on monthly level of the year so far compared to the last year. Here you will have a more longer term trend in your water consumption. Is it decreasing or increasing? So basically with this, you are able to see how is your overall portfolio going, which direction is going, are we doing the right actions to consume less water. If you have lots of submeters in your premises, it will be highlighted and slightly different color. So you are able to visualize that how much water consumption is covered by the submeters. Then below the consumption graph, we have three different widgets, where the first one is the last month widget, where you can see the consumption last month by cubic meters and also how much it was in your currency. How it was changed based on the reference month and what does it actually mean in money wise. Of course, if something is increasing, there might be a natural explanation, but that is one thing always in the hub. If something is red, you should think about it, be aware of it, and think about it, can we do this better way? And also statistic that how many active leak you did have on last month. Then the next widget, the overall number of your premises, what you have, how many of them are fully properly monitored. So we have main meters and also submeters. In these buildings, you probably know where the water is consumed. In main meter side, you know that the consumption is 100 cubic meters per month, but actually you might not even know where it goes. And probably one of the most important things that we can offer to you is the Smartvatten Index, which is the benchmark developed based on the detailed water consumption and metering data from over 10,000 premises from our database. Basically, it combines water consumption, leak statistics into one performance indicator. Maybe Carl, would you like to tell a little bit more how we actually calculate this?
A comprehensive benchmark of properties here. And the basic principles is so that it calculates the water usage per square meter of all the properties that we have in our database. That's close to 20,000 by now. And it gives a scoring, and it takes into account the building type here also. So obviously, a residential property, a hotel, an office building, they all see different patterns and intensity of water usage. So that's taken into account when we then calculate an average consumption per square meter versus the overall portfolio for the building. But it's more advanced than that. It also takes in the leak statistics. So if I have a building with a lot of leaks, it will actually score lower. And not only the frequency of leaks, but also the duration, the time it takes to resolve the leaks, because we can follow that in our database. That is also taken into account when we do this scoring. So that means if I have a building with low consumption per square meter and no leaks or very few leaks that I fix very quickly, then I score very high on the Smartvatten Index. Obviously, vice versa, I score very low if we consume a lot of water and we have a lot of leaks. But the interesting part is maybe also that even though consumption is relatively low compared to averages in a specific building, if there's still a lot of leaks going on, that means there's still a lot of room for improvement to further improve the water efficiency. And that means that that building will not score very high until those leaks are also fixed according to the Smartvatten Index. That's a little bit the principles behind this. I think Katarina can put up a link in the chat to the more detailed explanations that we have on the website for the Smartvatten Index.
Thanks, Carl. And if we have users who prefer using mobile phone, you can log in to the page and you cannot get the graphs or the widgets, but you are also able to browse your premises, see where the leakages are, and open the more information about the premise and the last month consumption and leakage splits. Basically, the web page is very responsive, so you are able to use it with every device that you want. In a premise table, we have the list of every individual premise that you have in your portfolio. You are able to filter or search it by name, address, city, zip code, but also with the country or property manager. If you want to focus more on the buildings that you have with alarms, just click the three dots where you can find advanced filters, and the portal shows you only the premises that you have leakages. Like I mentioned before, red is always a good indicator that this thing should be investigated. For example, this demo property number 1, the consumption based on compared to last year, it has went up 18%. If you click the consumption, it will go to the old, maybe the familiar port for most of you, and you are able to browse your consumption data in yearly level, monthly level, weekly level, and also in the daily level, depending what kind of monitoring you have. Then we have the Smartvatten Index, what Carl mentioned about. You can sort your table with it, find the lowest scoring property, and put your focus on it. On the alarm side, if there are main meter alarms, leakages, we can sort them. It will tell you the amount of leakages, liters per minute, and also what it means in currency with every month. And if you click here, it will go to the Smartvatten Online. Browsing a little bit, you can see that actually, hey, this leakage started at 0000 yesterday, and it continues, and the base load is basically 3 liters per minute. And of course, when you have able to find the leakage, you are able then to see that if it stops and validate that everything is okay. Many of you people have asked about feature that can we get the reading of the last month, last meter reading from our optical reader. From this column, you can see the last reading if you have to give it to the utilities or put it in some report. Also, I have to mention that we have cooperation with several different utilities that we will actually push these readings to the utility database, and they are able to get the consumption or the meter readings there. More information you can ask from your account manager. But in some countries also, the utilities want to see the proof that, hey, this is actually the meter reading. This is anonymized data, so actually we can show the actual meter there, but I can demonstrate what is, when you click here, it will open your meter's last picture. Then you are able to download it and send it to the utility. Then we have this interesting case, what actually happened today. We have connected this building with third party or a smart meter from the utility. We will get the data once a day. Currently, we are not seeing anything alarming from the main meter side. But when we go to the residential portal, we see the 5 alarms. And also notice that there's actually a leakage today in apartment 1. And from the portal, this was apartment under renovation. There hasn't been any consumption before this, but actually before about 10 a.m. Finnish time, the leak started, and it consumed a little bit over 2.5 cubic meters water. With our Smartvatten Verto metering system, we got the information in 2 hours, and the maintenance personnel was able to shut down the leakage. If we compare it, that we would only get the alarm from the main meter. In this building, this is a relatively small building, but it has 17 apartments. It's huge amount of time and effort to find the actual building or the apartment where the leakage is. With the sub-metering, it's very easy to see. Of course, these things depend on what kind of meters we have, what is the data granularity that we can get, and what kind of alarms we can provide for you. But this is a good example that how we can locate the alarm into one apartment very quickly. In the action side, in a Smartvatten Online, you have probably seen your portfolio Excel. We added a little bit more information about the buildings, the floor area. So we can calculate, of course, the consumption change to the last year, consumption cubic meters per square meters, and also the last reading of the current specific month. This portfolio Excel is available for you to download here under the actions. You can choose which months you want to download. Do you want to include the floor area consumption, meter readings, or what kind of report you want? Then you just submit the request and it will be downloaded. Also familiar feature from the Smartvatten Online, the PDF report every monthly, what we will send you. It's available by clicking here, and you are able to download it from your browser. If you have any questions for our services or our products, there is always a quick way to reach us under this briefcase. You are able to send a request to contact us, and it will be delivered to your own account manager. But if there is one thing I would like us to remember after this webinar, when you log into the hub, if there is red, then it needs to be, we need to do some kind of action for it, or put the extra focus on that. That's a short preview from my side. If you have any questions, please put them on the Q&A. You can also contact our customer support teams or account managers for more information. But actually from the sub-metering side, Carl, you might have a good customer case actually. How we save the money from the customer.
Yes, we have a number of them obviously here, but one very recent case is a big shopping mall in Norway. They started to monitor main meters with Smartvatten about a year ago. And I think on day one, after starting to metering here, they realized they had a lot of leakage ongoing in that building. When I went back in history, I could see there was leakages more than 10 liters per minute on a continuous basis. That equates to more than 200 cubic meters in a month, or basically thousands of euros that is literally flushed down the drain for them here. Now they identified some major appliances leaking and so on, so they were able to address many of those leakages, and we can see that the leakage has gone down over time here. But they still struggled in this large building to pinpoint the smaller reoccurring leakages and really understand where they were. So we helped them install submeters and connect those. And with that, they could immediately detect, for example, one hot water tank that was constantly leaking. And then obviously the savings were multiplied with also the energy costs of heating that water. So when I now checked this morning, there was still one leakage active in that whole shopping mall. That was 0.1 liters per minute. That's 1 deciliter per minute. And comparing that with a starting point of about 10 liters per minute, that means they've been able to reduce the water leakage by 99% since starting with Smartvatten, with the help of both main metering and sub-metering. Good. With that, I think we have concluded the prepared part of the presentation here, and we can open it up for question and answers if there are any. Yes, I see there are a number of questions coming in here, so that's very nice. Starting point, when will the hub be available? Well, actually, it's available already now. we provided a link in the material, and yeah, we can post it in the chat again. So if you're already a Smartvatten user, your credentials are valid also to the hub. You can currently use both systems in parallel, so you can kind of pick and choose which one you like, the better, but they're also interlinked. So no features are being lost on everyone. Everything is available, but the hub, you can log into that with using your own credentials as of now, actually. Is the hub able to also show carbon emissions from water consumptions? Would you like to take that one, Eric, or should I?
Yeah, currently it's not available in Hub, but it's on the roadmap, and we are going to have announcements about what we are going to do next in next months. And also, if you have requests, that please contact our customer support or our account managers or directly us. That what kind of features you would like to have in the Hub. Basically, the fundamental is that we are building this software for our customers, not for us.
I would also add to that, Eric, that in a way it is available in the hub because it's included in the monthly PDF reports, which we are distributing via the hub also. So you get every month a recording of the carbon emissions from water usage also. Good. Here's an interesting one. So how do you know the difference between a leak and excessive usage? And I think this is what everybody in the water industry might be wondering, right? And many people have tried to wrap their heads around how to best do that. So the short answer is that we use very granular data, down to minute level data. And then we analyze each building's individual consumption pattern. So we have a machine learning algorithm that learns the pattern of the building. And based on that, we're then able to fine-tune these thresholds. So we see what would really be abnormal consumption for a certain building based on the minute-by-minute usage pattern and our machine learning algorithms coupled with that. So that then we have a number of algorithms that can really detect the severity of any excessive water usage also, so that we can accurately alert the user if there is something and avoid to do it if there is sort of false positives. So that means we obviously also take into account what day of the week it is, what type of property. Typically in an office building, excessive water usage on a weekend can be much lower than on a weekday when there's a lot of people in the office. And that's all taken into account in our solution also. Then I would just like to add that the majority of the leakages that we're seeing is not big leakages from excessive usage, or that could indicate a pipe break or something more catastrophic in nature. But the majority of the leaks are relatively small, a couple of liters or deciliters per minute or hour, but that is often going kind of hidden. So that can be a leaking running toilet or taps that are untight or something like that. And when you add it up, that equates to a lot of water being wasted and costs included in that. And in the example I gave, if it's a hot water tank, that doesn't need to be leaking a lot, but still huge amounts of cost being wasted there. Do you have a link to or PDF with what to do and where to look for leaks, particularly in the plant room? We have a checklist for how to react when there is a leak. And I think you could contact your Smartvatten customer success manager to get that information. And then there is a question to clarify the difference between Smartvatten Hub and the other user interface named Verto something. Okay, yeah, that's a good question here. So basically, Smartvatten currently has 3 different platforms. It's the old Smartvatten online portal that was used for mainly main meter monitoring. We have a sub-meter system called Smartvatten Verto, and those are still available. But we've built the hub as a, let's say, landing page or a collection system on top of those to combine the information both from main meters and sub-meters into one user interface. Specifically Verto, or Verto Live as we call that system. So that's optimized for residential properties, and it has the ability to set up apartments, hot and cold water meters, and it comes with an app for tenants to see also the individual water consumption in that apartment also. So that is also included when you buy a Smartvatten sub-metering service using our Verto technology. And then we have questions about the cost and demo accounts and so on. And that's something we're happy to help you with. And that goes via our normal sales channels to get in touch with us. And based on your needs and the volumes that you're looking for, etc., what the cost will be per property for in your specific case.
Actually, there is one question about existing Embas meters. That are we able to connect them, or it's wireless Embas sub-meters actually? Are we able to connect them?
Yes, that's right. Would you like to take it, Erik, or should I?
Yeah, basically, if we are talking, for example, wireless Embas sub-meters, we can read them. We can provide the so-called concentrator into your building, collect the data. Some of the meters are encrypted, so we need the encryption keys for encrypting the data from those meters. But it's a very doable thing. And if you have any of these needs, please just contact us through our website or straight to our salespersons. They will tell a little bit more about how the process works.
Good. With that, I think there are currently no more questions in the chat. And I think time is almost up. So maybe if we switch to the next slide here, just a few words to end the whole seminar. Thank you all for participating today. And I think we're all part of the journey towards water efficient communities. So Smartvatten, we provide some tools, but it's only through your actions as customers and how you decide to work with the water data that actual change and impact can happen to become more water efficient. And I hope you will all help us spread the message about the importance of water efficiency now. And that doesn't have to be that technically complicated anymore. There are solutions presented here which you could deploy and start working with already today. Now, if you want to know more, get a more in-depth demo, discuss pricing, see how it fits in your specific environment or situation, reach out to either one of those two guys here, Andreas, who covers Western Europe for us, or Patrick, who covers Scandinavia. And they will be very happy to help you further. Obviously, if you're already a Smartvatten customer, then you have already assigned customer success managers and support people who can also be very happy to help you further here. With that, I'd like to thank you all for listening today and wish you all a great rest of the day. Thank you.
Thank you.